Let's see, Barrett. Maybe I should lay this out. Make it 2 inches. Let's make this 2 inches on either side, just so it's not really going to be seen, but and I'll use the middle hole. Can't get that to sit down flat for some reason. Okay, so now what you do is just take your drill bit here and run it down till it hits that stop. And you'll have a hole ready for the screw. So let me do these other two and I'll show you how we fasten it together. Okay, so Barrett's going to try, but let me show you something, Barrett. Okay. Don't turn the drill on until you get this kind of started. See how that, and you're feeling the angle? Because I don't want you to grind out the barrel, okay? So just get it started and then just turn the drill on, okay? Did you go all the way down? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. No. No, just one time. Now let's move it over and let you do the other one. One thing neat about this system is that, you know, it's a handyman type thing too, so it's good for pros and handymen. Don't stick it all the way down in there. You don't want it to be touching the wood. Okay. There you go. Good job. You're a pro. Okay, these Ready to stop making noise? Okay, this system comes with its own screws, and they're 1.25 inches, and they have this nice built-in washer on the head, which holds very well. And these are coarse threaded. They also have this razor sharp point, so that when you start to go in, it doesn't walk on you. If you've done any woodworking before, you know sometimes when you're trying to drill a screw at an angle, it'll kind of walk from the original point. So these sharp points allow you just to hold the wood where you want it to be fastened, and it'll go right in. And here's our square drive. Oopsie. Why is that Phillips? What in the world? Why are those Phillips head? Got the wrong screws. Oh well, we'll have to change our bit out, but the best screws come with a square drive head, and they really work better than the Phillips, so I'm going to have to change the bit out. Okay, well, when you have a shop, you're most likely going to find what you need. And how long are these? That's what we need right there. These square drives, so we'll use them. Okay, you can see the difference. I made a mistake when I picked these up at Lowe's. I didn't pay attention. I've actually never used the Phillips head before, so I wasn't even thinking. These are the better ones, the square drive. You can even see they look even a little beefier, and the thread is coarser, which will hold better in this soft wood. I'm going to hold this out just a little bit in case it walks on me. See, is that flush over there? And you don't want to drive these home too much, you just want to get them down in there. I've got the clutch set, so I'm not going to strip out the screw. Well, this bit's magnetized for some reason. There we go. And you won't believe how unbelievably strong these are. I was worried that since I had to set a new adjustment on my drill bit that it would drill it too deep, but it's fine, they didn't come out. Board had a little bit of a cut to it, so I'm having to work it back and forth as we go down. Oops. Okay, the funny thing is I've actually used these to build furniture with. And you can see you can actually make them a feature. If you lay them out with even spacing or proper spacing, they actually will add a feature to your furniture. Now some people might say, well, that's cheap. Well, it is cheap, but it works. And it's fast and it's strong. And a metal, you know, that screw is not going to break like a dovetail might. And you can spend, you know, 30 minutes hand cutting a dovetail joint and it break on you and you're just going to cry. And you got 2 ruined pieces of wood. The other thing you can do, I've done, if I can find video of this, I'll show it. These are little plugs that go in there like that. I can do it one-handed. You tap them in, and then you take a chisel and shave them off. If I can get it going. Anyway, you get the point. And what I've done before is I've like painted this and stained these so they look like a knot, or you can just put like a natural finish on this wood and put a stain, or vice versa. Just make it a feature. Some woodworkers are just anal, you know. They won't come into modern times and use quick and effective fastening methods. And I've spent more time videoing this thing than I have building it. So it's a nice way to make a quick carcass for an inset bookshelf. And what we're going to do after it's painted, we're going to come in here and put the adjustable shelf brackets in there. And, you know, again, if we wanted to spend oodles of time on custom work, we would drill holes in the side for little pins to hold the shelves. So like this one, this is going to be a custom piece, but this piece here is going to be painted, and it's going to be really not even seen by the time they get their equipment and whatever else they want in there. So you got to match your methods to the project. Okay, so we're going to fasten the back of the cabinet on with like a number 6 wood screw, 1.25 inches long. And the reason I'm doing that is because I really want to be able to take that back off if I want to. If we drill a hole, say we drill a hole for a power cable or something like that, it's in the wrong place. That's a bad example, but I can just take this back off and bind a piece and replace it. I don't want to glue that. Again, if it was furniture that wasn't going to be, you know, had holes drilled in it or whatever and didn't need to be modified, I would just glue it on there. But these screws are going to act just fine. And really, the glue is not going to be that effective. It'll be messy, you know, oozing out, and we have to sand it. It'll be, you know, before we paint it and all that. So sometimes it's just neat and clean just to use a wood screw and be done with it. What I'm going to do is just pre-drill some holes with a bit that's smaller than the shaft of the screw, so the threads still catch. But I'm probably going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. And I'm used to this, but you might want to lay this out so that you're only going in the center of this piece. you may have noticed I'm using a power drill to drill the holes and to drill these holes, but I'm using a cordless drill to run the screws in. That's because obviously the RPMs on this are less. You can also set the clutch, and you don't have to worry about stripping the screws out so much. That bit size is really not the right size, so that's why you heard me spinning it a little bit. The reason this bit size is so important, as you can see here, I almost kind of stripped that head out, and that's one thing you don't want to do because you want to be able to get that screw out. So of course it looks ugly too, so I'm going to try to find a better size bit for this Phillips bit. You can see now that the screw went in without the bit spinning on it, and so the head is not damaged, that one compared to that one. Just a little tip. Okay, so we're going to go around the entire edge, and we'll be back in a minute.